Hey guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can, what you can do against toxic teammates. I have a whole list of things that are going to be very beneficial for some of you guys that might struggle with this. Especially people in lower rank, if you're focusing on your teammates and like them being toxic or doing things that you know are not beneficial to win the game, this is going to benefit you greatly. So before we start, hey viewer, subscribe. That's all I wanted to say. But anyway, moving on. What to do against toxic teammates. So I have a list here. I'm just going to write down things. I have ways teammates can present negatively. So the most common things you're going to notice is that teammates will flame or trash talk other teammates for either minor or major reasons. They might also be toxic or negative because your team is beginning to lose or has lost multiple rounds in a row. And they might think that this is because of a specific reason, even if it is or is not. It doesn't really matter. But the point is that they are presenting as like negative, and they're pretty much just not helping the team in any way at all. And another reason might be because they're beginning to play poorly, or they're beginning to, their tilting is just continuing to spiral out of control, and it's also affecting their performance. And there's pretty much an endless list of reasons, of specific reasons why a teammate might be angry. You can just think of why you might be angry at a teammate or something like that. And if you don't get angry, then good for you. But I also wrote down with the star next to it, all of these things are out of your control. So think about that for a second. All of these things that are causing your teammates to get angry are out of your control. So asking them, trying to argue with them to not be angry is almost kind of silly. So one thing I will say before I actually go to the solution, or my solution, is you can ask them once or maybe twice, like, hey, dude, please focus up, we can win. You can say that like a couple times. You say, hey, dude, chill out, we got this, we can win. You can be like the positive, like, motivator, so to speak, of the game. But this is really only going to do so much for your team. But you can do it a couple times. So now I'm going to get to what I would personally do in this scenario if my teammates are just very negative. You have a tab, right? You have a tab whenever you're in the game, and you can just mute people. So what you can do is mute the person that is being toxic or being, like, negative, whatever you want to put it, and I specifically wrote down mute all or some of your teammates, so you can even mute all of your teammates. So some of the time this will happen, like one of your teammates will be rude or toxic, and then it's kind of contagious, and then a lot of your other teammates will start not focusing on the game, and they'll also start arguing or complaining about this person, like, this game's not winnable because we have XYZ on our team, and he's complaining. Well, just mute them, bro. Just mute them. And if someone else on the team wants to continue trying, then keep them unmuted. And if you mute everyone, what I would say is continue making important comms. Even though you muted everyone, if there's someone flanking, say, jett flanking. It doesn't matter. If you have everyone muted, make comms. If someone wants to win the game and they're listening, they're listening. If they're not, then they're not. You should be in the habit of calming anyway if you want to rank up. Another thing I wrote down is toxic teammates don't control whether you carry or not. People that are angry don't control if you get 30 kills or if you get 5 kills. That is entirely up to you. So if you let the negativity and the toxicity affect you enough, so that a game that you would have been carrying, instead you're getting 5 kills, that's on you. So muting up is very, very valuable, a very, very valuable tool at your disposal. You can also mute text chat. You can mute all chat. Oftentimes I'll play games completely mute, and it's honestly very peaceful. And you can still improve your mechanical skill quite a lot. Obviously, I would say one caveat to this is try not to mute everyone like instantly. If someone says one thing at the start of the game, don't just instantly mute everyone, because there are obviously downsides to muting people, and if people are actually trying to communicate with you and you have them muted, it's going to be a little frustrating for them. But if they've been complaining and they're just toxic, you can just try muting a couple people that are being toxic, and if people are also arguing with them and it's also just negatively affecting your gameplay, then you could just mute them up as well. So this is the most important thing I think I could tell you about dealing with toxic teammates. You could try to argue with them, like I said, but you can't, at the end of the day, you can't control how someone else sees the game or how they're playing the game. If they've had 4 bad games in a row, there's nothing you can do to make them unhab those bad 4 games. They're just going to be tilted. Not necessarily, but if they're tilted, they're tilted, So This should be very useful for people that struggle with that. So just remember, for lower ranked players, I feel like they try to focus too much on what their teammates are doing. Just stop focusing on your teammates. You shouldn't really try to bother helping them at all. And just focus on what you're doing. That's all that matters. Especially so for lower ranks, because you can easily carry yourself out of lower ranks with just a little bit of practice and focusing up, but also in higher ranks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you. And see you guys in the next video.